Namaste and good evening, good night, good morning, good afternoon, good day, wherever you may be across this wonderful and beautiful globe. Hi, this is Destiny Forever Walks. I am back with a very powerful and interesting topic. This is something, guys, I'm telling you, you all need to get here and sit down. This is one video that you should not hit the stop button. You should not hit the forward button. You need to hear this message. This message is one of the most life-changing topics that you can possibly ever allow yourself to listen to, because we have found ourselves in a place that we are creating more and more of what I'm going to speak of today. Okay? So, hi, I am Destiny Forever Walks, and this is my YouTube channel. If you out there have just come upon this channel for the very first time, I will invite you to watch my videos. That's the first thing that I always suggest. Watch the videos. I don't want you liking my channel or subscribing to my channel until you watch the video messages that I put out there. And if these messages resonate with you, or these messages relate to some situations or things in your life, or these some interesting topics that will help you to grow to your better and higher greater self, or this message out there is helping you to be empowered, to be encouraged and motivated, then that is the place that you need to be. And that place is Destiny Forever Walks. And now you can join me. So you can subscribe to my channel. And since this message is really blessing you so much, and it's really building you up to your better, greater, higher version, go out there and tell other people. You got to find this lady named Destiny Forever Walks on YouTube. Then invite them over. Tell them, listen to her messages. Listen. She wants you to listen. Listen to the entire message. That's what I really want y'all to do. And then if they like it, tell them you need to subscribe. Subscribe to her channel. Like her videos. Share them with everyone that you know. And if you want to get more, to know when more videos are being created, made, then hey, there's a bell notification right there, right there. You need to hit the bell notification, and every time a new message is uploaded from Destiny Forever Walks, hey, you'll be one of the first to know about that. Okay, let's jump into this, because this is really, I really wanted to make this short, but there's so many things I want to talk about. And I got my notes here, so I'm going to be looking down a little bit on my notes, okay? What I really want to talk about is, the topic is, how can I forgive? How do I forgive? And how did I forgive? Those three important questions, I want you to really meditate on those three questions, because at the end of this video, I'm going to ask you to answer each one of those questions into the best, honest, and possible way that you can. And you can give me some details about if there was a time that you did forgive and you're seeking for information, how do I forgive? Or if you're seeking for information about how can I forgive, think about that, because forgiveness is a powerful topic. And I wanted to start out because I want to give you some scenarios. I want to put myself out there. And there was two situations recently that I found myself in. And it was a hard place for me to forgive and let go, especially the first incident that I fell into. This was someone that I've known for over 17 and a half years. We were very tight, very close. We did everything possibly together. We shared everything together. I mean, we were really very close. And when I came into my spiritual awakening and I began to grow into my greater and higher self, during that process, as I was moving into my greater and higher self, starting back in 2015, as I got further into becoming who I know that the Creator had created for me to be, my whole life purpose, who I really was, and my spiritual journey and the path that I should be on. Not the path where other people, they're on, because they're on it, I should be on it. And my friend thought that I should be still traveling that path with him, speaking like him, talking about him, serving the God in the way that he was serving God. And that became a really hard, painful situation, because my friend did not want to accept me for who I had become. He wanted to hold me back to what I used to be, the way I was doing things, the way that I was living, and would bring up, well, how can you do this and that? And you used to do this. No, and then he gave me an ultimatum. Either I go back and do the things that the way we used to do it together, and go talking the same talk that he was talking, and believing in the way that he believed in his faith, and serving the God the way that he's serving, that we could not be friends. That was ultimatum. Okay, fine. I know my truths now, and I'm not gonna give that up. Even though you are so dear, and that I really truly love this person with all of my heart, it was my best friend forever, I couldn't go back. It hurt. It hurt to let go. But then he come back later, like, I was just kidding. He wasn't kidding. Because anytime anyone speaks anything out of their heart, it's in their heart. And they just telling you that so they can hold a little more tighter to you. Anyway, it took me a whole process, a long time, to really let go. Because every time I was just like back away from the person, because I was still hurting. I was still in pain. But he kept coming toward me, and he kept moving toward me, only to get me into a place to pin me up again, to test me, to see if I'm still at that place where I was. And have I moved back into believing like he was believing, doing what he was doing, speaking the things that he was speaking according to what he believed that the Bible was saying. Every time I will go back toward that way, because he will calm down. Once he get me back to that place, he start chipping at me again. And eventually, it took me a while. Probably took me about close to 2 years. After I was just like, I hated it to hurt so bad, to cut away someone that was so, it was just entwined within my heart. But I got to that place. I finally let go. And I finally let go without hatred, without bitterness. And I forgave him. I forgave myself for the stupid things that I allowed myself to fall into during the times that we got involved. There are some more scenarios, but that's just it. You got to get to that place where you gotta first let go. You gotta let go with love. You gotta let go without judgment. It's a whole lot. Let me jump into this, and maybe you can get some more understanding. The topic is, how can I forgive? How do I forgive? And how did I forgive? So, are you struggling with holding on to something that you need to let go of? There is such freedom in being able to forgive, and you just take that deep breath from all of that guilt. Take that deep breath from all of that resentment that you have bent up inside of you. And many times, we look for people to change, and yes, I did, and I was hoping that he would change. That was my friend for life, and we have said that for over almost close to 18 years, but it took me growing into a different way from where he was, and taking on a different path, and beginning to believe what my higher self was revealing, the creator God of the universe was revealing me, and my higher self, he could not accept that. And it took me a hard time to really let go. You've been my confidant. You've been there for me. I've been there for you. We've done everything together. We have shared so many wonderful things together. You know, he been there. He helped my family when my family was in need of things. I was there for his family, his children, his grandchildren, his wife, and I was there. I was the church secretary. I was his community liaison person. I would go out there in community. I did all kinds of things for him. He was my best friend. But many times we look for that person to change, or we look for that person to apologize before we forgive them. And even when we need to forgive ourselves, that's sometimes the hardest thing we can do. And we are sometimes our very worst enemy. Sometimes we find it easier to forgive other people, but we find it so daggone hard to forgive ourselves. Even when we need to forgive ourselves, it seems easiest to wait until we are grown, to wait till we have moved past the things that have been done to us, or the things that have hurt us, and that the people that has really damaged and hurt us and destroyed our lives. But guys, whether it's a spouse who was unfaithful to you, or it was a close friend who has set you up and who had went around and then talked about you and put your name out there to destroy your integrity, or whether it was a parent that let you down as a child when you needed that parent, that parent was not there. When you cried out when someone was beating you or molesting you, and you cried, "Mama, Daddy, help me," and Mommy turned her eyes like, "I can't," or if Mama saw Daddy fondling and Mommy didn't come to the rescue, you let that child down because you were thinking more about what was going to happen to you, because Daddy has threatened you. If you say anything, blah, 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 I'm leaving and I'm going to do whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or if, like I said, it was that friend that you share your whole life and your heart with, and you told them something in confidence, and that person went around telling everybody and everything you said. Or even if it was a horrible mistake that you made on your own. And sometimes we make so many horrible mistakes on our own, and we messed up, and we feel like we're a failure. We feel like we disappointed people, and we have disappointed ourselves. And that's the hardest place sometimes we find ourselves, to forgive ourselves for the wrong that we have done to our own selves. But we all must face the question of whether I should forgive and how to forgive. Whether I should forgive others for what they are done, because the Bible said forgive others. Even though as the Creator God has forgiven us, we have to forgive. Or whether I should forgive people that have hurt me, or how should I forgive them? We all got to deal with this, and we all need to face this. This is something we really have to truly look at. The Bible tells us we should give 7 times 7. That's all day long. I don't care how many times someone comes to you, we got to have that place in that heart of forgiveness. That's why we've been held back from a lot of blessings. That's why we've been held back from achieving our higher, greatest success. That's why we continue to fall into the place of failure and lack, because we don't forgive. And when we don't forgive, we create more of a place that people will move further and further away from us, and we find ourselves in a place of not having anything, because we find ourselves bitter and angry and frustrated, because we holding that bitterness within us instead of just letting it go, forgiving that person, forgiving yourself and letting it go. But after you are wronged and the initial wave of emotion has passed, then you're presented now with a new challenge, and you need to take that challenge. And you need to take that leap forward and say, I'm letting go of all of this. I'm letting go of this anger, this frustration, and I'm letting go of not forgiving because I want to move forward. So take the new challenge. And I'm going to ask you a question. After you take that challenge, or if you have ever taken that challenge, or you found yourself in that place, did you forgive the person? Did you forgive yourself? Could you forgive the person? Or could you forgive yourself? By forgiving, you let go of the grievance, you let go of all of that. You let go of the judgments. And then what happened? Then you allow yourself to heal. And the Bible wants us to be healed, whole, wholesome, healthy, and complete. So while this may sound like a very good way of things in theory, people, actually in practice, forgiveness can sometimes feel impossible, feel so impossible to do. But when you do find that place where you can let go, and when you do find that place that you can forgive, you're going to find freedom. He that the Son set free is free indeed. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. That's freedom. When you allow to just let go of the anger, the frustration, the bitterness, the resentment, the hostility, whatever the pain that is causing you to hurt so bad, or the people who have damaged you so emotionally wrong, when you find yourself letting go, that's freedom. That is total freedom. So let me tell you this. To learn how to forgive, you must first learn what forgiveness is not. And a lot of times we get that all mixed up, and we think of it in a way that is not what it really is. So to learn how to forgive, you must first learn what forgiveness is not. Twist it. And guys, most of us hold at least some misconceptions about forgiveness. So I'm going to tell you right now, here are some things that forgiving someone or yourself doesn't mean. I'm going to give you some things, I'm just repeating it, that forgiving someone or yourself doesn't mean. Forgiveness doesn't mean you are pardoning or excusing the other person's actions. Forgiveness doesn't mean you need to tell the person that he or she is forgiven. Forgiveness doesn't mean you shouldn't have any more feelings about the situation. Forgiveness doesn't mean there is nothing further to work out in the relationship, or that everything is okay now. Forgiveness doesn't mean you should forget the incident, the pain, the abuse, the neglect, whatever that situation have happened to you. It doesn't mean that you should forget the incident, that you should forget that the incident ever happened. It happened, people. And you need to address it. You need to face it. You need to deal with it so you can get beyond it to the point where you can let go of it. And then you let go of it in love. And then you send love out. And you start building yourself back up to that healthy place that you were before you were broken. Forgiveness doesn't mean you have to continue to include the person in your life. You can just let go in love and just move on. And sometimes that's probably the best thing that you can do. Old things has passed away, guys, and behold, new things the Creator is bringing into your life. And sometimes we gotta let old dead things, old situations, old relationships, and all that, we gotta sometimes just let it go. It comes to the end of the road. It comes to a fork in the road where you gotta make a decision. I'm gonna hang out there where I'm gonna still be damaged and hurt by things and people that I'm hanging with, or I'm gonna take the new path that is unknown, and I'm knowing that the Creator's gonna hook me up with the people that I know is best for my life, for the place that I'm going. And forgiveness isn't something you do for the other person. Please hear that. Forgiveness isn't something that you do for the other person. Forgiveness is something that you have to do for yourself. You got to do it for yourself. That's your freedom. That's your passport to freedom. By forgiving, you are accepting the reality of what happened, and then you are finding a way to live in a state of resolution with whatever the situation that occurred. However, guys, this can be a gradual process, and a lot of times it is. I say it took me close to 2 years to get to that place to let go of my best friend that I call my friend for life. It took me over 2 years to really realize that I'm not going to try to change him, even though he was trying to change me. I'm not going to try to change him. And I'm not going to accept ultimatums or tell me how to live and what I should say and what I should do and how I should speak and what God I should serve, how my faith should be and what I should be doing, talking to people on. No, you don't define me. It was hurtful, and I struggled with that over and over for almost 2 years till I came to that place to realize change, people, is not change until it changed. And I made the ultimate decision. I gotta let go, or else this is gonna damage me more than probably damage him, because I was really hurting myself. So the process sometimes it can be very gradual, and it doesn't necessarily have to include the person that you are forgiving. You just got to go into a place all by yourself and set yourself down, your stubborn, hard-headed self down. And you got to do a real strict talk to you. One of those tough love talks to yourself. And you got to say, you know what? You're better than that. You're far smarter than that. You're much wiser than that. You can do this on your own. You got the power within you to do this. You don't need nobody to support you. You don't need nobody else's acceptance of who you are. You don't need anyone else's approval. Approve yourself. Accept yourself. Love who you are. And you take that leap and you move on. That person don't need to be there in that whole part of the conversation when you're trying to make that process of moving forward. So let me repeat this again. Forgiveness isn't something you do for the person who wronged you. It's something that you must do for you. You got to do this for yourself. That's the best gift that you can give yourself. You have to forgive. So, people, here I am. If forgiveness is something you do for yourself, and if it can help you to heal, to become whole, wholesome, healthy, and complete, then why is it so hard? Think on that. Why is it so hard to do? Now, this is where you come in. This is your part. I'm going to put it all back on you. I told you a brief scenario, a brief little summary of a relationship that had fallen by the wayside after almost 18 years, and how I was damaged, how it really destroyed me. It was the best friendship, it was the best I thought was going to last forever, because we were always there helping each other, building each other, doing things for each other's families and all that. And it got to the place when I changed, when the Creator pulled me away from my part of the ministry that we were serving in, and what we were being taught, and the faith and the things. And I began to see from the spirituality side that He thought I was went crazy. I went off on the wayside. That I had all these things going on in me and demons, and I'm just bringing them to my life. No, the demons are within us. There is no demons other than the demons that is created by our own thoughts and our minds. Leave that there. So forgiveness, people, is something that you do for yourself. And if it can help us to heal, if it really can help us to heal. But then why is it so hard? Why is forgiveness or forgiving someone or yourself is so hard? Now this is where you come in. I'm going to ask you again. Meditate on this, because I'm going to give you 3 questions. I really want you to really take it very seriously. I want you to answer this question openly and honestly as to the best possible way. Be deep in detail. Give it, because we want to heal. We're tired of holding back and holding on to things that no longer serve us, that no longer has a purpose in our lives, that keep holding us into that lower place where we always holding on to things that, because we're not talking about it. We're not addressing that. We are not acknowledging that this has damaged me. This is where I am hurting. This is where the fear is coming from. This is where the pain is continuing to brew in my life. We got to admit and we got to address these things. Now, I want you to honestly and openly answer these questions. How can I forgive? How do I forgive? And how did I forgive? Which one of these questions resonate with you the most or relate to a situation that you were in? How can I forgive? How do I forgive? And how did I forgive? I'm going to drop this into the comment box. So I'm gonna drop this into the description box so you can see that. So you can have those 3 questions in front of you. And this is all I ask of you again. Please be totally, absolutely open and honest about your answers. And you can go in as much detail as possible. If you choose not to answer, hey, that's fine with me. It's fine. It's fine with me. But all I'm trying to do is get you to face situations so we can break those curses over our lives, so we can break those patterns and those negative patterns, those negative forms that's been creating a world of hell for us, that's been taking us away from reaching a greater, higher self and keeping us into that lower place of negativity. We gotta be free because the Creator God wants to set us free. And forgiveness is something that is very serious, and this is something that He has spoken so much when you go and read your Bible. So please leave your answers in the comment box below. And I'm looking forward to hearing your answers and whatever that you have to say. Let's reach out. Let's touch someone. Let's reach out and love on someone. Let's reach out and let's be open and honest. Just pull back the layers of the pains, whatever that we have, and show, hey, I have mistakes. I have failures. I didn't do all this right. I didn't make the best marks in my life. I failed at this. I did not do what I should have done. Yes, I did things that I know it hurt other people, and I'm sorry about it. Just be open and honest. It's time to heal. And you will never heal until you address each situation of each of these things that is within you that is holding you back from moving away from the pain and the hurt and the failures, the rapes, the abuse, the neglect, the incidents, the accidents, whatever they may be. And you saying, oh, it's my fault, it's my fault. Or it's their fault, it's her fault, it's his fault, somebody else's fault. Address it. Those 3 questions will be placed in the description box. Namaste, I'll see you at the next video. I love you guys. Love you.